Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, if you can call him that, appeared on CNN's State of the Union this past weekend to take a swipe at Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, accusing her of continuing to divide. That's what Joe Manchin, the man who has repeatedly over the past week said he will not under any circumstances support the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill that Democrats are going all in on, the guy who is literally single-handedly holding up the entire Democratic agenda that a majority of people in this country, including a majority of Republicans, support. One man holding it up, and he has the audacity to accuse somebody else, AOC, of being divisive. Here's why. Here's why he says she's being divisive. Because after he penned his op-ed last week saying he wasn't going to support the $3.5 trillion package, she tweeted this out. Joe Manchin has weekly huddles with Exxon and is one of many senators who gives lobbyists their pen to write so-called bipartisan fossil fuel bills. It's killing people, our people, at least 12 last night. Sick of this bipartisan corruption that masquerades as clear-eyed moderation. And Joe Manchin, of course, came out and said, hey, that's totally false. She just wants to divide. Okay, then why did Exxon lobbyist Keith McCoy say on video that he talks to your office every week? Literally what AOC accused you of, because the lobbyists already admitted it, Joe. You don't get to walk out of this one. You don't get to sit there and say somebody else is being divisive when you're the one individual standing in the way of actual progress here in the United States. The entire Democratic Party needs to go all in against Joe Manchin. And one of the things they need to use to pressure him, and I know this might be a little dirty politics here, but I don't care anymore. They need to let him know that, Joe, listen, you really should support this infrastructure package, this reconciliation bill, because if you don't, man, wouldn't it be awful if we had the DOJ investigate your daughter for price gouging when she was at Mylan Pharmaceuticals, and she personally approved the price hike on those EpiPens for no reason at all other than greed? We could prosecute her for that. That's illegal. You can't just do that. So, yeah, how about you get on board with this reconciliation bill before something bad happens? And yeah, it's a mafia tactic, I guess. Walking up, man, it'd be a shame if something happened to your daughter with regards to an investigation, right? But that's what the Democrats need to do. And then, of course, once you get Joe Manchin's vote, I still think you should investigate her for price gouging, because that's how it should work. Joe Manchin needs to be kicked out of the Senate. And I know since that's not going to happen, the Democratic Party needs to cut him off for good. What's the downside of that? Oh, he flips and goes and becomes a Republican? He's already a Republican. Everything he's doing is Republican. So it doesn't matter. But we'll lose the majority. With him siding with Republicans, we already don't have the majority. So don't come at me with those idiotic talking points. Cut your losses now, because Joe Manchin is the one who's going to tank your chances in the midterms. That's a promise. We're watching it unfold now. If this reconciliation bill dies, or it gets watered down to the point of being useless, then Joe Manchin just killed the Democratic majorities in the House and Senate in next year's midterms. If you can't get enough Ring of Fire, we encourage everyone to subscribe to our channel for fresh video content 7 days a week. And for even more from me, you can follow me on all social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @FairandBalanced.